Hello everyone, thank you for watching this video. Now in this part of today's video, right, we are looking at 3G2 WA2 paper, topical revision paper, worksheet number 2, and this is part 2 of the video. So I already have gone through the first 12 questions, and I'm going to go through the remaining questions right now. Right, let's start from question 13. Question 13 over here is shows a skilled drawing of a triangular field. Okay, they asked me to measure the angle ABC. Now, unfortunately, I do not have software to draw the construction directly on my iPad itself, but I'll be able to go through some of the main concepts that you can use in order to solve the questions. Right, so I think you should be able to do the measurement. Now, part B question says, treasure is buried in the field and you're supposed to locate it with the following conditions. So the condition says that it lies on the angle bisector of ACB. So the angle bisector is of angle C over here. So if you were to do your construction over here, it's going to be the angle bisector, put any sharp point at point C, right? Then you're supposed to draw an arc, okay? And then where it cuts the 2 points, when it cuts, you draw another arc using it at the center. Okay, I'm just drawing it roughly to show where the direction could or could not be, right? It's not very accurate. So I'm just roughly showing you where it can be, right? What are the steps? So after we have the 2 points, I'm going to mark the center. Then I'll join the center and to the angle C. So this one will give me the angle bisector. Okay. So this one will be angle bisector of part 1B, part 1. Remember to label your working clearly. Okay, next it says lies on the perpendicular bisector of BC. If I want the perpendicular bisector of BC, I need to draw, open up my compass more than half of it. Since it's B and C, so I need to put the sharp point at B. Okay, let me think, how am I going to draw this? Right, and then also put the sharp point at C. Right, so I will have one half of a cockroach and another half of a cockroach. Something like that. My drawing may not be very accurate. Okay, because I think you have the compass and the protractor, it might be more accurate than me. So, and then in this case, you draw the perpendicular bisector. I think my answer is not that accurate. Yeah, give me a minute. Let me think of how to draw it exactly again. Okay, maybe it will look something like that. This is just a rough sketch. I think I need the actual compass and protractor, or whichever to be able to draw it more accurately, right? Then in this case, I'll draw a line joining these two. Okay, and then according to the questions, it says that the location of the treasure is the point of intersection. Okay, it is the point T where it is on the angle bisector itself, okay, which is this one over here, is also on the perpendicular bisector. As you can see, my perpendicular bisector not very accurate, right? Because I'm drawing freehand. Okay, but when you do construction in the class, maybe it will be more accurate. And then if I'm looking at the location T, that will be the point of intersection. It happened that my diagram not drawn very accurately is down here. Okay, but I believe if I have the actual compass and protractor to do the calculation, it might be more accurate. So in this case, this is just a rough plan and a rough sketch of what are the things that we need to do for angle bisector and perpendicular bisector, right? I will go through this question again in detail and then draw these questions in class. So now let's move on to the next question. Okay, question number 14 over here in the diagram below, JKL is reduced, okay, to PQR. JKL is reduced, so JKL, the big one, is the original. Reduced to, so this one, the small one, will be the image, right? And as usual, I like to write, I will match the points. JKL match with PQI. So let's take a look. The shape is the same, so the angles are the same. Okay, but the ratio of the length are different. So let's find the angle. Angle Q over here is 110. Angle Q matches with angle K, so this one will be 110. And then angle J match with angle P. So this one is 18, so this one will also be 18 degrees. All right. And then last but not least, this one will be the A. Now, question says find the scale factor of reduction. So when you have reduction for the scale factor is given by image over original. Okay, as you can see, our image is the smaller one, and the original is the big one, right? So small, I find a pair of matching lengths that they have measurements on both sides. Small is 12, and then the bigger one is 18. So that will be 12 over 18. Remember to simplify your fraction. That gives you 2 times. Have you gotten the answer? Next question say find the value of A. Well, it's quite obvious already. A over here, I have 18 and 110. Angle sum of a triangle add up to a total of 180. So angle A will be equals to 180 minus 110 minus 18 degrees. And that gives me 52 degrees angle sum of triangle. Next, find the value of x. So in this case, got two methods. Method one, we can use our scale factor to find a ratio, small over big. Right? So according to our scale factor, the ratio small over big. Right? What do we have here? The ratio is 2 over 3. So I find a pair of matching sides that can find x itself. So x is corresponding to 4 cm. So the small one will be the 4 cm. So 4 over x. So what can we do? We can cross multiply. Okay, and then we can get 2x. 12. X will be equals to 6. All right, alternatively, method 2, we can use the scale factor of reduction. So to reduce from this to become this, I multiply by 2 over 3. But if I were to reverse to find the other one from small to big, I'll take 4, I'll divide by 2 over 3. So in this case, I'm going to take 4, divide by 2 over 3. And that gives me the number 6 cm. Same answer. Right? So 2 different methods. That's up to you to decide which method you prefer. If you're not very sure, do I multiply or do I divide? Then probably it'll be safer for you to just use the ratio method. Small in this case is reduction, so small over big. You already have this ratio. Find the pair of corresponding sides with the length x itself that matches with 4. So then you cross multiply and get the answer. Have you gotten the concept? Now let's go on to the next question. Okay, in question 15, where you notice that there's some algebra, right? So when there's algebra, usually I'll still prefer to do method number 1, where we find a pair of ratio and we use it. So now question here says that CD is parallel to AB. Now this is actually quite an important statement. Why they say that it's important? When you have CD parallel to AB, maybe some of you who paid attention in class or whichever will remember there are some angles that we said, okay, that are useful, all right? Alternate angles, interior angles. Okay, and vertically opposite angles. So in this case, right, when we have CD is parallel to AB, you can see that you have a pair of matching sides, CD with AB. Immediately, we have the numbers 12 and 2, 20. A pair of ratio already appear. Okay, so what I want to do is I need to know that if they are parallel, that means the angles A equals to angle C. Angle B will be equals to angle D. And angle E is a common angle. So if that's the case, I actually have a big triangle. A, B, E. This will be similar to the smaller version of the triangle. C, D, E. Okay, where we say that the angles are the same. Right? If you're able to see it on that the two triangles are similar over here, it's okay, you do not need to draw this. But if you can't really see it, then I will advise you to just draw two similar triangles and match the corresponding points together. So now the question says name two similar triangles. So the triangles that are similar, triangle ABE is similar to the order of labeling is very important. If they start with A, B, E, then we'll need to have C, D, E. Right, it must go in the same order, triangle C, D, E. And they want me to find the value of X. Let me fill up my numbers. This is 20, this is 12. This is the only pair of ratio that I have. This one is X plus, oh, this is not 9. Sorry. I think that's a typo. The question says it's X plus 3. So this is X plus 3. Okay, so this one is just X plus 3. And if this is the case, this pair of length over here, CE, will match with AE. Okay, but what is AE? AE is X over here plus X plus 3. That will give me 2X plus 3. All right, so in this case, I have two pairs of ratio. One is the one that is known. So find a pair of ratio first. So part B, finding a pair of ratio. The pair of ratio that I have, I'm going to use the green one, which is, I'm going to take small over big. Is that okay? Since they didn't say that whether is it enlargement or reduction, it's up to you to choose whether you want small over big or big over small. But just make sure I match the corresponding size equally. So small over big itself, right? The small ratio will be 12 EM over 20. This pair of ratio is the same as taking the yellow color pair of ratio, which is X plus 3 over 2X plus 3. Then from here, we form a pair of equation. We can cross multiply. So 12 times 2x plus 3, 20 times x plus 3. Let me expand, and remember to expand to all the terms, right, inside the bracket, both terms. Okay, and then we shall shift around our terms. I'll shift this over here. So this is positive, become negative, a subtraction. So 24x minus 20x. And this number is 60, positive 36. Undo addition becomes subtraction minus 36. So 4x equals to 60 minus 36. That gives me 24. X equals to 24 divided by 4. 6 EM. Question says find the value of X. So I shall have no units, just 6. Right? Okay, so the main concept, I repeat again, take a pair, find a matching pair with ratio with numbers. Okay, and then another pair on its side. Right? And then cross multiply, then we can solve. Okay, now let's go on to the next question. Okay, this question is a word problem over here. Now, this word problem, right, is involving rate. Yeah, let's take a look at our question carefully. Water is leaking from a tap at a rate of x cm cube per minute. So it's x cm cube for every 1 minute. Okay, takes 1 minute. We should see. All right. Right now, expression for time taken to collect 50 cm cube of water. So in this case, first, I'll find 1 cm cube. I'll need to divide by x. It will take 1 over x. Instead of a fraction, for algebra, when you do division, you write a fraction. So it's 1 over x of a minute. So if I want to collect 50 cm cube, I'll multiply by 50. Multiply by 50, the number goes to the numerator, the one on top. So it will be 1 times 50 becomes 50 over x. Mini. Right, have you gotten the answer? So this one over here is 50 over x. Mini. Next, when the tap is tightened, okay, when the tap is tightened, the water leaks at 3 cm cube per minute lesser. So originally is x, now is x, origin is x cm cube per minute, right? Now lesser by 3, so minus 3, less, so minus 3. So this one takes 1 minute because it's per minute, right? Then to collect the same amount of water, which is 50 cm cube, let me find 1 cm cube. Okay, so it's still the same. I'm going to divide by x minus 3. So I write in fraction 1 over x minus 3 of a minute. And if I want to have 50 cm cube, I need to multiply by 50. Right? When I multiply by 50, the 50 goes to the top or bottom, the top right, and the numerator. So it becomes 1 times 50 becomes 50 over x minus 3. Okay, let's take a look at our question. Okay, for part A, right, my tap is not so tight, it's a little bit looser, so the rate of water flows faster, right? So if it flows faster, that means it takes lesser time, okay, to collect the 50 cm cube, right? Whereas when the water, right, is leaking at a slower rate, I need a longer time, okay, longer time to collect the same amount of water. Okay, then now the question says the difference is 1.5 minutes. Something to take note, this is the same unit as all this over here. So hence, I do not need to change the units. I can use back 1.5 directly. Now I want difference. How do we find the difference? Do we take big minus small or small minus big? So we should take the longer minus the shorter one, right? Or the big minus small, right? So in this case, the longer time is 50 over x minus 3. Subtract. The shorter time is 50 over x. And this timing, the difference is equals to 1.5 of a minute. All three of them have the same unit, so I'm not going to do any changes, and we will continue with this. But then personally, when it comes to algebra, I don't like to work with decimal in algebra. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change 1.5, okay, to improper fraction. According to my calculated improper fraction is 3 over 2. Right? Next, what do we need to do? Make them the same denominator. So I'm going to multiply here by x. Not multiply by minus 3. I'll multiply by x minus 3, the whole term. Okay, now I'm going to combine them into one single denominator. Then this one, multiply them together. Be careful, this is subtraction. Okay, I'll do my expansion a little bit later, right? Okay, since I'm going to find the equation, I'm going to expand everything. So this is 50x minus 50x. Negative times negative become plus 50 times 350 over x squared minus 3x equals to 3 over 2. As you can see, 50 and 50 over here, minus 50 cancel away. So I get left with 150 over x squared minus 3x. And then what are we going to do? We're going to cross multiply, right? So 150 times 2, that will give me 300. And then this is 3 times x squared minus 3x. Expanding out, I will have 300 to be equals to 3x squared minus 9x. 3 times 3, right? So it's 9x. Then simplifying it over to one side, I'll make this side 0. So it's 3x squared minus 9x. And I'll bring this over. So become minus 300. Okay, usually I like to make the x squared positive. So I try to keep x squared as positive number. That's why I shift over everything over to the other side. Okay, but then the question now is, this is 1x squared, but I have 3. Negative 3, but I got negative 9. Negative 100, I got 3. So all of them have a common factor, right? Can be divided by 3. So I'm going to divide everything by 3. I'm reducing the equation. 0 divided by 3 is still 0. Then 3 divided by 3, x squared. 9 divided by 3, 3x. 300 divided by 3, 100. So therefore, they are the same. Shown. All right. So in the exam, if you're unable to do this question, maybe you can at least try to start off with the equation somehow. If you write the equation, you will still be able to get some method marks somewhere. So try not to leave it blank. Okay, but even if you're not able to do so and show the equation, it doesn't matter because part C, they gave you the equation itself. So they just want you to solve the equation, right? So we're going to use our quadratic formula to solve the equation. Okay, please remember your quadratic formula. Okay, A equals to, in this case, the invisible number is 1. B equals to negative 3. Please remember the number, the sign. C equals to negative 100. According to our formula, x equals to, anyone remember? Negative b plus minus square root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. But this working gives you no marks. Please make sure you substitute all the numbers inside. And for me, make it a good habit to involve brackets. All right, so you plug in the numbers, b equals to negative 3. Negative 3 with the brackets holding square. For a is 1, c is negative 100 over 2a, right? Else not, if you have the calculator with you, you can use the mode 522. Okay, or your calculator mode 3. Okay, and then key in your a is 1, b is negative 3, c is negative 100. And for my calculator, I get the two answers directly. So in this case, I'm just going to copy the answer over here. This one will be the first answer, 11.6118, 9. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I round off to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I shall round this off to 5 single figures. Okay, my second answer, negative 8.61 1, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. Then my question says correct answer to 1 decimal place. So I should write these down as 11.6, okay, or negative 8.6. All right, so I'm solving an equation. They did not ask me to reject the numbers or whichever, they just asked me to solve the equation, right? So I just need to solve the equation. So these are my two answers. Okay, but the question in the next part says hence. Hence, what does that mean? Meaning you have to use the answer from the previous part. But which answer should I use? Let's take a look at our original question. X is cm cubed. What does cm cubed tells you? Cm cubed is a volume, right? Can you have a negative volume? No, right? So I have to use x to be the positive number. So using x to be, usually I will still use my x to be the 5 sig fig number. You notice I do my 5 sig fig because for calculation, then it will be more accurate. Okay, I want to find the time taken to collect 50 cm cube of water, correct to the nearest second before the tap is being tightened. So before it's being tightened, the time is given by 50 over x. Okay, 50 over x. So I should take the time to be 50 divided by x. And that gives me a number 4.3058. Maybe 0.9. Okay, minutes. But the question wants me 3059. But the question wants me to the nearest second. So I know that 1 minute has 60 seconds. What I can do is I can multiply everything to seconds, or I can just keep my 4 minute over here. Then this one is 0.3059, right? 1 minute has 60 seconds. You multiply by 60. Okay, you can get your number in seconds. Alternatively, there's this button over here. Oops, cannot see. Okay, on my calculator, there's this button that looks like that. Okay. Or some of you have the DMS, okay, button. So you, with your answer 4.3059 now, whichever that you already have, you can press that button. It will convert for you directly into 4 minutes 18 seconds. So according to my calculator, 4018.21. So this means it's 4 minutes 18 seconds. So I'll have my answer is 18. All right. Alternatively, I just take 0.30059 times 60. This number will give me 18.354. So I round off the nearest second, that will be 18 seconds. Have you gotten the concept? Now let's do our last few questions. Okay, one more on word problem. Okay, I'll leave the, oh, this one is on graph. Okay, now I'll just try one more question. Okay, two more questions, right? Okay, question number 17. The width of a rectangle. Oh, let me draw a rectangle. Okay. The wonders of iPad. The width of the rectangle. Okay, so the width is the shorter one, is y, and its length is 4 cm more than its width. So this one over here will be 4 cm more, right? So this one will be 1 plus 4. Write down a question for the rectangle in terms of y. So the length will be y plus 4c. Given that the area of the rectangle is 56, so area equals to 56 cm squared. How do you find area? We take the length times the breadth. So in this case will be y times the whole of y plus 4 equals to 56. Expanding this out, so y squared plus 4y equals to 56. And then the equation 1 is equal to 0, right? So shift this over, y squared plus 4y minus 56 equals to 0. Shown. Okay. Now, even if we are not able to show, we can still solve the equation, right? And you notice that for the second part, they did not say rounding off the numbers to decimal place or significant figures. So when it's not stated, we'll write everything in 3 significant figures. Okay. So let me solve the equation. A equals to 1, B equals to 4, positive 4, C equals to negative 56. Take note that the question in this case is the variable is letter y. So normally you'll say x equals to, right? But in this case, because my letter in my equation is y, so I'm going to write y equals to negative b. Okay, I'm going to memorize it. Plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Please substitute in the numbers, then you can get your marks. So b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Then I shall use my calculator. Okay, mode 522. Okay, or you can use other calculator with a different mode. Okay, I don't know which mode that you have, but please go and use it. So A equals to 1, B equals to 4, C equals to negative 6. And I got my two answers, 5.7459, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, so in this case, I need to round this off, round up to 60. Or second answer, negative 9.7459. That will be 60 again. Then I'll round it off to 3 1, 2, 3, round up. 5.75 or negative 9.75. Have you gotten the answer? Next, hence find the perimeter. Hence, what does hence means? Meaning I need to use the answer above. Okay, let's take a look at y. Remember, y is the length. Can we have negative length? All right, so in this case, y will be the value 5.7460. So using y equals to 5.7460, find the perimeter of the rectangle. So I recall that my rectangle is this. I have y is 5.7460. My length is 4 cm longer plus 4, which gives me 9.7460. Then I need to find the perimeter. I'm going to take 5.7460 2 times. Well, I add 9.7460, the whole thing times 2, right, to find my perimeter. And that gives me 30.984. Rounding it off, 1, 2, 3, 6, 8, round up, 31.0 cm. Okay, Have you gotten the answer? Now let's do and work out our last question for the day. Okay, this question is a graph question and quite some skills that we need to follow. So please bear with me. And some more, I don't have the hard copy with me over here. It's a little bit difficult for me to draw the graph in a very smooth line. Okay, I will try my best. But if not, for you, you should be able to have the hard copy by then when I give it to you during the lesson time. Okay, you can use your curve ruler to help you to draw the graph properly. Okay, so first part of the question, some of the variables are connected by this equation, 2x squared minus 5x minus 3, right? And we have corresponding values of x and y given in the following table. Okay, so we have that I want to find letter P. So when I want to find letter P corresponds to negative x being -2. So usually I'll follow my equation, which is this one over here. Okay, y is now changed to the letter P. So P equals to 2x squared minus 5x minus 3. Following this, right, x squared 5x minus 3. And I'll plug in the corresponding number, which is -2. Then remember, there's brackets over here. Okay, key this into your calculator to bracket. And I get my answer, P equals to 15. Have you gotten the correct answer? Okay, now they want me to draw the graph, okay, onto this. So I'm going to plot this. The first pair that we have, 2, and now this one, the number is changed to 15 already. So -2, 15, right? So -2 over here. Then -2 go up all the way to 15, right? So this point over here. So your mark across. Next pair, next point. This one is -1, 4. X first followed by y. So -1, level 4. -1, level 4. And how do I know which one is level 4? Let's count from 0 to 5. There's 5 units, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 squares over here. 10 square represent 5 units, right? 1 square will represent 0.5 of a unit. I divide by 10, right? So 0.5 of the unit. So I want -1, 4. So this will be 1, 2 of them, 2, 3, 4. So 1, -4, -1, 4. This will be the point over here. Okay. Next question, next one, 0, -3. When x is 0, y is -3. 0, -1, -2, -3, which is here. And next one, 0.5. Oh, not 1, but 0.5 is at -5. 0.5, -5. When x is 0.5 is here, this 0.5, and it goes to -5, so all the way until here. Then we have another point, 1 is at -6, 1, -6. -6 will be here, two more squares. Okay, and we have the next one, 2 is -5. Notice that this and this, okay, the two y values are the same. Okay, let me write this out. This one and this one over here, the two y values are the same. So when the two y values are the same, right, I will expect that there is a line of symmetry right in the middle. But the number over here is 0.5 and the number over here is 2. So I'm going to add these two together, divide by 2. And I'm going to get the number 1.25. That means my line of symmetry is when x equals to 1.25. Okay, what does this mean? I can do a little bit of cheating. I'll plug it inside my equation over here. Okay, I'll plug it inside my equation over here, right? So this number, y equals to 2 bracket 1.25 square minus 5, 1.25 minus 3. Let me quietly calculate what is this number. Minus 1.25 minus 3. And I got my answer is negative 6.125. That means my minimum point is around negative 6.1 or 6.2, or maybe, but it's nearer to 6.1. So when x equals to 1.25, so this is 1.5. 1.25 will be right in the middle. Right, then I'll plot negative 6.1, maybe somewhere a little bit lower. Okay. And then next pair of point, 2, -5, I haven't drawn 2, -5 yet. 2, -5 is down here. Okay, so I know I have something near a turning point. This will be my minimum point already. 3 is at 0, it says just now. Okay, 3, 0. 4, 9. 5, 22, 6, 39. 4, 9. Number 4. Go all the way up to 9. Then 5, 22. When is that 5? I go to 20, 21, 22. Let me talk correctly in case I never see clearly. Okay. And last but not least, 639. 6 is at 39. 6, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. So 639. Okay, so this will be my curve. These are the points over here. Plotting the points correctly or whichever will give you 1 mark. Okay, and then drawing the smooth curve. So now usually what we'll do, we'll start with the lowest point, which I already know is somewhere around here in this direction. Then what I'll do, I try to match this portion over here using a curve ruler, maximum around 3 points, or if you can, unless you really can fix it. Okay, so you usually have like 1/2, draw 1/2 first, then you flip your curve ruler and you draw the other half. All right, okay, now I show. And then you can round off the corners a little bit here. Make sure it's not like those sharp points. Okay, this one we do not want. Or also don't make sure that it's not like, you know, having a pimple that comes out in the middle of nowhere. Okay, make sure it's a smooth, nice point. Okay, I shall try to draw my graph now. So I shall pause my video first. Okay, so now I got the first half of my graph. So starting from the minimum points over here, I draw the first half over here. I draw it on iPad, so I only have free hand to draw. A little bit shaky, but I think in exam test, you can use the curve ruler to make it nicer. Right, now I should draw the other half. Okay, I tried to come up with a graph. Not very nice and smooth because I'm drawing it freehand, but if I want to have the curve ruler during a test or whichever, I think you can draw a bit better than me. All right. Okay. If you have finished drawing your graph or whichever, let's go on to see the last few parts of the question, where how do we use this graph to find our answers? Okay. So we need to keep coming back to this graph itself. So next page, the question. From your graph, the question really say from your graph, right? So highlight it, using the working from your graph itself, right? Find the minimum value of y. What is the minimum? Meaning the lowest point, the y value for the lowest point. So where's our lowest point on our graph? So our graph goes from here all the way to this before it goes roller coaster up. So the lowest point is over here. And then we already somehow plotted and estimated that this point will be negative 6.1, isn't it? Okay, so it will be somehow negative 6.1 or 6.2. Okay, based on, because the graph itself they draw may or may not be that accurate, so you can roughly use negative 6.1 or negative 6.2 within range, right? So they should want the y value, so the minimum y value. Okay, because in this case, I calculated the number, so I know that it's near negative 6.1. So I'll put negative 6.1 as my answer. Okay, oh, one more point. This is our secret working. So we have to erase away. Don't let our teacher, during exam, you have to erase all this working away. So you don't let the teacher know that you calculated the value. All right. Next question, write down the equation of the line of symmetry. Equation of the line of symmetry. So I'm going to look at the line of symmetry. Where is this line of symmetry? This line of symmetry is right in the middle. Here we already plotted that point just now. Okay, let me try to draw this line. Right, and that's where x is equals to 1.25. Oops, my line isn't very accurate. Okay, and this case, this number over here only cuts the x-axis. So for our answer, it's only just x equals to 1.25. So I can write down my equation, x equals to 1.25. Must remember to write the x equation, right? So there must be some kind of variable, equal sign, and a number, right? If you just put 1.25, that is just a number that's not an equation. So you need the x equals to. Next, find the value of x when y equals to negative 4. So let me go back to my graph. When y equals to negative 4, what's negative 4? Oh, when x equals to, when y equals to negative 4 is over here. We have more than one solution. Okay, why? How do I know that? Okay, it cuts my curve, my line, negative y equals to negative 4, right? Cuts the curve at 2 points over here and over here. So reading this answer, this will give me about 0.25 x. And then the other one, this one will be about 2.2. Okay, plus or minus 0.1 or 0.01 of a range. Okay, not going to vary by a lot. So your accuracy of the graph is still relatively important. So x equals 0.25 and 2.2. So the value that x can take, x can be equals to 0.25 or 2.2. Have you gotten the concept? Now the last two paragraphs. Using your graph, like I say again, okay, solve the equation 2x squared minus 5x minus 3 equals to 0. Now let's take a look at our equation, the question for our graph. This question is actually very similar, right? Look at the question. This is y equals to 2x squared minus 5x minus 3. Let me copy this down now. Y equals to 2x squared minus 5x minus 3. I know that my graph equation is y equals to 2x squared minus 5x minus 3. Now they ask me to solve 2x squared minus 5x minus 3 equals to 0. If that is the case, this part and this part is exactly the same. That means y must be equals to the number 0. So in this case, y equals to 0. I go to the axis y equals to 0 and look for the values for x. Usually quadratic, okay, x squared, so there should be two answers. Right, let's get y equals to 0. Where is y equals to 0? This is my y-axis. So I'll go from y all the way down to y equals to 0 over here, which is this one, right? So if that's the case, what's the number? Okay, y equals to 0, 1 point over here, and another point over here. All right, so in this case, I have 2 points. First answer, this one will be negative 0.5, and this one will be 3. So when y equals 0, x equals to negative 0.5 and or 3. Okay, two answers. Have you gotten the concept? Next, by adding suitable lines, okay, the question is getting harder and harder, but we're coming to an end soon. Okay, so stay focused, right? By adding suitable lines, find that on the same axis, find solutions for this equation. This question look a little bit similar, but it's not a typo error. The number over here, you notice this is 13, but this is 3. So let's look at our graph. Okay, my graph itself, the question is y equals to 2x squared minus 5x minus 3. But my question gives me 2x squared minus 5x minus 13 equals to 0. Okay, this portion over here, this and this are the same. But this number is not the same as negative 3. But I need to change the question because I'm not going to redraw another graph. Right? I'm not going to redraw another graph. So I need to change the question into 2x squared minus 5x minus 3 over at this portion. Okay, so this is negative 13. How to go from negative 13 to become negative 3? So how am I going to change this? What I can do is I do a plus 10. Negative 13 plus 10 will give me 3. Okay, negative 13 plus 10 will give me 3. Or usually what should I do? Negative 3 minus negative 13, that will give me 10 also. So if I plus 10, okay, so I know that at plus 10, I can get negative plus 10, right? I can get negative 3, right? But if I were to do a plus 10 over on my left-hand side, I must also balance it by plus 10 over on my right-hand side. So in this case, my whole question becomes this whole thing equals to 10. And I know that, okay, this is the same. Therefore, y must be equals to the number 10. So therefore, I'm going to draw the line. Y equals to 10. Then I read the graph and look for a point of intersection. Most likely quadratic, we should have two results. So y equals to 10. Let's look for y-axis. So this is my y-axis. Y equals to 10 over here. Right, let me go on the slide. Y equals to 10. Here they did say by adding suitable straight line, right? So y equals to 10. label it. Let's find the point of intersection, which is here. This one will be the number negative 1.5, negative 1.6. And this number will be 4.1. So my answer will be negative 1.6 and 4.1. There is a small range of answers that's acceptable. Okay. Hopefully you have something similar along this line. Okay, same answers as me. Okay, next question. Now we have x squared minus 6x minus 2. The question is becoming more and more different. So let's recall a little bit. Remember our graph. The equation is y equals to 2x squared minus 5x minus 3. Now the question is 2x squared minus 6x minus 2 equals to 0. I need to change this into 2x squared minus 5x minus 3. So I must change this into 2x squared minus 5x minus 3. Let's start with our numbers first. From negative 2, how to get negative 3? I can minus 1. If I do that to the left hand side, I must add on the same thing to my right hand side. Okay, so now I already have negative 3. Then my next problem is this is negative 6. I want to get negative 5 only. I don't want it to be so negative. So in this case, what I can do, let me shift this over a little bit. I will do a plus x. So minus 6x plus x give me negative 5, right? So I'll do 1 plus x over here. Let me change the color of this. Okay, so if that's the case, this whole thing will be equals to x minus 1. I'm going to simplify and rearrange it over here. And we know that y equals to this whole thing. This portion and this portion is the same. So y equals to the line x minus 1. So the line that I need to draw is drawing y equals to x minus 1. A little bit difficult, I understand, but let's do it slowly, okay? So now my next question is how to draw y equals to x minus 1. I need a chocolate bar, a table of values. So usually we have around 3 points. If in exam you really cannot have 3 points, then 2 points, minimum is 2 points. Now, what am I going to choose for my x values over here? Okay, I can choose a range given from my question, my graph. So I look at my x numbers over here. These are all the x numbers that's available. So I can choose something. But for me, I'll just be safe. So maybe I'll choose 0, 1, 2. Okay, I just choose numbers that's in a smaller range, easier to calculate. So I just put 0, 1, 2 lah. Then let me substitute this. Y equals to 0 minus 1. That will give me negative 1. Y equals to 1 minus 1. That will give me 0. Y equals to 2 minus 1. 2 minus 1 will give me 1. Okay, so I use the table, the equation over here, plug in the table of values for your x and find the value for y. Now we're going to plot the points. 0, negative 1, 1, 0, 2, 1. 0, negative 1. Let me plot 0, negative 1. Wow, so small. So maybe I put in green color, okay? 0, negative 1 is here. 1, 0 is here. 2, 1. Is it 2, 1? Okay. Let me see. 1 is correct. 2, 1 is over here. Okay. So I have a graph based on these three lines. Okay, but then if I'm going to draw a very short line, I cannot find any point of intersection over here. So I have to make sure that I draw my line long enough to find point of intersection. Okay, so after I draw the line, I can take note of the point of intersection. This is the first point of intersection over here, second point of intersection over here. So my first point of intersection, I'll read this number, negative 0.1, 0.2, 0.25. And this number over here, for me is 3.3. Okay, the answer may vary a little bit, plus or minus, right? So for me, my x equals to negative 0.25. The other one is 3.3. Therefore, the solutions, x equals to negative 0.25 or x equals to 3.3. Answer. Have you gotten the concept? Okay, maybe you need to, you rewind the video and then watch a few more times. Okay, I'll do more of revision of the other types of questions for WA2. Right, so with that, we come to the end of this part of the video and we have completed the second worksheet for our WA2 revision. Okay, and maybe hope you all can get good marks for it. All right, with that, thank you for watching the video. Bye-bye. I'll see you for the next lesson.